I'm Rob Estes, and this is my ET Then and Now.
I first really kind of perked up to you and fell in love with you in a lot of ways, of Melrose Place, of course. No, but seriously.
I just like to fell in love with you.
Well.
You had me at Melrose.
Well,
okay.
Listen, you weren't hard to look at, Rob Estes.
I'll consider it.
Before you got into acting,
Yeah.
you thought about being a stunt person?
Yeah, I had a friend in high school, his dad was a stuntman, and he said, he goes to school for it, so why don't you, if you're serious, go check it out. So we crashed cars, got set on fire, did all kinds of stuff.
So, okay, so
Yes.
you actually went to school to become a stunt
Stuntman.
person. That's kind of cool.
It was cool. I was also a dancer at the time, and I decided that I wanted to go to theater school. So I auditioned for USC's BFA program, and they went, you suck. You cannot come here. And I was like, oh, damn it. So I worked, and I went and auditioned again, and they were like, okay, you can come here.
Don't let me find out you were a dancer.
Yeah.
You might be.
That's how I got my SAG card.
You might be my brother from another mother.
There we go.
What kind of dance did you do?
So breaking, popping.
Shut the hell up! I love that you were a break dancer.
I know, it's
you were
ridiculous.
a popper. And that is not ridiculous.
Well, now you look at it
It's
and you
incredible.
go, I mean, what I was doing was, Flash Dance had just come out, and I saw it like 20
It's so
times because I was
good,
trying to
Rob.
get every move. I kept dancing, but once acting picked up, I mean, actually I did Days of Our Lives, and Days of Our Lives were like, okay, it's a guy, and he's gotta dance.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And I didn't look like the typical
break dancer.
Well, yeah, yes, I did. But there
Well,
were
back in the 80s, though,
it was a
you
different,
did.
So my style was very different than the majority of anybody going in to do a soap. And they were like, oh, we could use this.
Right around that same time, Rob tried out for this classic 80s movie.
Goonies never say die!
I met Steven Spielberg. I auditioned for him for Goonies, and these kids were so free. I mean, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so nervous. I couldn't have been worse. So I didn't get it.
You're not so tough, Sam. Come here. I seem tougher.
Would you say, though, that the role that really put you on the map was Silk Stalkings?
Yeah.
That was a racy show for back in those days.
It was.
Yeah.
Totally. I was like, oh, this is racy. And I remember going, after I was hired, I remember going to the wardrobe, and they had all these bright clothes. And they're like, no, this is what it is. And I was like, okay. God, I'm not feeling this, right? Well, this is what it's gonna be. Okay, fair enough. So I went home that night and I dyed my hair black. And I showed up on set the next day. And I said, okay, if I'm wearing these bright clothes, I'm gonna be the Elvis detective, so let's go. So.
And that's how it was
And it
born.
worked, yeah.
It-
And they
heck
went,
yeah,
they
it
were so
worked.
mad at me. They're, what, you can't do that. I said,
Oh, yeah?
But seriously, so Melrose Place was where we were first introduced, but at first you were only on for a couple episodes.
I did 2 episodes
Yeah.
with who I was engaged to in real life.
Yeah, Josie Bissett.
Josie.
Yeah.
And after those 2 episodes, I went back to Silk. I finished 3 more years, and then I was done. And Aaron Spelling called and said, Bob, it's me again. Do you want to come do Melrose? I'll hire you for 26. And I was like, yeah, sure. So, that's how that happened.
Well, we caught up with you on the set of Melrose
Oh,
Place.
God, no,
because,
you didn't.
Listen, Rob, the ET Vault never, ever, ever disappoints.
They're always in the air.
Here it's like 1 week you're married, next week you're divorced, the week after that, maybe your sexual preferences change.
What do you tell that kid?
I would say thank you for that.
But not
Wow,
really.
what would I tell that kid?
Yeah.
I would tell that kid to take it less seriously. That's what I would tell him, take it less seriously. Find the joy in it.
Yeah.
I lost a lot of the joy and found it later on.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of stuff coming at you.
I wonder, though, because that ensemble was so iconic looking
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Now, were you able to appreciate it then?
It's not that I didn't appreciate it. I don't think I understood its scope.
Okay.
Because you're in it, right? And and you're working, you work 12 to 15 hour days,
Yeah.
and you're running.
When I think about too, I mean, some of my favorite television moments, a lot of them come from Melrose.
Melrose?
Yeah, I mean, Laura and Josie fighting in the pool.
In the pool.
With
Yeah,
Kimberly
the
taking that.
Nobody saw that
Girl.
coming.
Anything with Heather.
I had such a good time with her.
Yeah.
How did we end up in bed?
Shut up. Just shut up and listen to me. You're fired.
Fired?
You are a pathetic, sick excuse for a man.
You know, there are several of the cast members now that are thinking about or trying to work on
Yes.
some sort of a reboot.
Yeah.
If that happens, would you ever say, yeah, Kyle McBride can come back?
Well, yesterday they finalized it. So it is happening.
It's happening.
It's not happening.
No.
God, I made that up. Just wanted to have a sound
I wanted
bite.
to.
So
I
good.
wanted to. I
Damn
was like,
it, I know.
Rob, if you break this news here, I'm gonna die.
Please bring the heat. Yeah, I would totally do it. It was a fun crew. It's just interesting. Sometimes things hit at the right time. Melrose was at the right time.
Yes. And then you went and hung with Brooke Shields
Oh my gosh.
on Suddenly Susan, right?
Yes, I did. Yeah, she was great.
I wouldn't change a thing.
When you found yourself on Gilmore Girls with Milo Ventimiglia,
Oh my God.
playing his dad,
Sorry I didn't call.
Hey, life's about the spontaneous, right?
I didn't realize that there was actually a chance you guys were going to get a spinoff.
The spinoff, it was cool. It was based in Venice too. It was a great cast, but the network would only pick it up for 6, and she went, like literally they announced they were going to do 6, and after they announced, she went no, and they went no, I need more than that.
Right.
And so they kind of pushed, and she said sorry, no. So it didn't, but he's unbelievable. He is such a good guy.
But I know you could see it though. I could see it
Yes.
with you two. I could see
Thank
that.
you. Thank you. He's I think he's a young man who was raised in a really good family, and he just has such a good heart. And I knew he was going to do great stuff.
Did you guys bond over?
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, we did. And I was, at the point where I'm starting to turn into an older gentleman, and I'm like, dude, I don't know how to do this. Like, you dress so well. What should I do? He goes, let's go shop. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah. Let's, and like, so we vintage clothes shop, and he just,
Nice.
he's such a good. He was a good guy.
Nice.
I really had a blast with him.
I feel like when I was kind of going down the lexicon of your career, I was like, God, he has had some incredible leading ladies, because you went from Brooke Shields to Angie Harmon.
She was great.
What, your favorite part of making Women's Murder Club?
Was her. We filmed really long hours on that. I think it was like 2 in the morning, and I come out to my trailer, and like there's glitter and disco lights and all this stuff emanating from my trailer, and I go, what? And I open the door, and she had made everything pink and as girly as she could. I was like, oh, damn. And to what point, I don't recall. I'm sure it was something really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just tortured each other. It was hilarious.
Let's talk about politics.
You just spit in my face. Do that again. Do it again.
Right now, fans can see Rob in his new comedy, The Italian, streaming on Prime Video. It's the hilarious and heartwarming story of his son who brings home a very untraditional girl, played by Abigail Breslin, for his very old-school family.
The eggplant looks absolutely delicious.
What about the meatballs?
Oh, I don't eat meat.
You don't? What are you, some kind of vegetarian?
First of all, I don't know who could watch this and not say, I don't see a little bit of my dysfunctional family
Totally.
in these people.
Which is largely the point. I had the best time. I mean, Vincenzo is very not Melrose Place.
Does this look like any piece of clothing I've ever owned?
I remember back in '86.
Yeah, and I'm
Right?
like, is he henpecked? Is he actually just too far gone? Like, what is Vincenzo?
So Vincenzo's all heart. He's lost.
Yeah.
I think in his life, he's like, as you get older, like a lot of things change. Then your kid leaves.
Yeah.
And your marriage, what's happening with that? Where is it? And he loves food. And he completely fell in love with Angelina because she can cook. Right? That was the first, like, oh yeah, And he just, it's almost sensual for him, which I loved. And it's interesting because I'm kind of, in my house, I'm kind of the Vincenzo.
Okay.
My wife is she has things so dialed up well. We're raising this young man that's just such a good dude. And it takes 2 of us, but it's largely her, right? But there are times when the heart has to come first, or the hammer has to come, and that's what I do.
Right.
And I feel really comfortable with it, and I think Vincenzo for his family was that.
Yeah.
And it's great.
What do you think that audiences are going to love about this movie?
I'm hoping they love about it what I love most about it, and that we are all humans.
Yeah.
And we all have different ideas, ideologies, religions, to see people saying what they need to say, what they mean, even if it's different, and still having community and you know, and some heart. That's good stuff.
Rob's heart is all about family. He and Josie Bissett divorced back in 2006. They share 2 children, Mason and Maya. In 2010, Rob married teacher and surfer Aaron Bolt. They live happily in Southern California with their 14-year-old son, Makai.
Meeting Aaron helped make me a better man. Like, she helped me grow up a little bit. We grew up, the dudes in my family grew up really slow. We grew up really slow.
That, I think, is probably one of the best compliments that a woman can receive or wants. Like,
well, I hope she watches.
They helped you become a better man. Seriously.
No, it's true though. It's absolutely true.
Yeah.
I don't know if she would say that about me, that I've made her a better woman. But she will at some point.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten there yet, but someday.